friends, Brickey here with another construction update, starting off in Disney California Adventure. And the very first thing that I stumbled upon is Goofy's flight school is down, but I don't know if that's permanent because it doesn't seem like maintenance is happening. But on the other side of Goofy's flight school, on the edge of Paradise Gardens, we see one of the seasonal meet and greet areas boarded up with construction walls. Typically when there's a theme that's switching over, they just kind of do it out in the open. This being construction wall up is very curious and something we'll keep checking up on. Let's walk around the entire foot of DCA and see what all we can discover before we hop over to Disneyland. I'm so glad you showed up, and I'm so glad that you care about the constant evolution of the parks just like I do. Make sure you subscribe if you want to check out a weekly construction update. Sunday mornings, we'll roll around the park and see what we can find together. I don't know what I love more, that Disney offers playing cornhole when attractions are shut down, or that people take them up on the opportunity to play cornhole when attractions are down. Either way, it's kind of a sweet little moment in showing there's no wrong way to Disney. Assuming most people here know about Hey Brickey, make sure you check it out, because yesterday I put up a video breaking down where I feel like a lot of fans have gotten something pretty wrong about the placement of Coco and where it will come and how it will transform DCA for the future, and my prediction on parades. Do they go away or do they stay? Watch the video and find out. Nothing to report over on Pixar Pier other than that little area at the edge of the gardens. Let's check out the interesting pinch point between Radiator Springs and Avengers Campus. Definitely expecting big crowds this weekend because this is all roped off. When you can walk up there to the map and get that beauty shot, that's when you know they're not expecting a super packed day. Are you kidding me? I'm always gonna stop when I see a celebrity passing by. Good to see Lightning. Ka-chow! Whoa, it is even more cleared out from last week's discovery. There was a little bit of concrete work that we could see in there, and it is now gone, baby, gone. Wow, all that beautiful facade work that stitched the two lands together seems to be completely cleared out. You can see there's the top of a tractor trailer right there, which means that it is at least open enough for a big rig to back into this location. Man, this has become way bigger and way more disruptive than what I was originally imagining. I can still spot some of that original concrete wall that's there on the bottom right of your screen. But this is taking out a lot of the great show setting that was there. But luckily for us, I filmed it all before it went away with no folks in it, so we'll forever have those details for before and after. And if you're new here, whenever you see footage with black bars around it, that's historical footage, allowing you to know the difference between today's footage and the archive of watching the park slowly rebuild itself time and time again. Oh wow, they are vacuuming or pouring concrete or something back there. That's great. Busy, busy, busy. Now obviously, we got to go over to the other side to see what it looks like from Avengers Campus. You asked me for a photo earlier, so it's payback.
Love
it. My new friend I made today. I don't know if you guys can hear, but the spraying of something is happening right on the other side of us. Maybe my microphone doesn't pick it up because it's designed to block out noises like that. Very interested to see if this will be done in time for Oogie Boogie Bash, because this is the platform, or the area I should say, where the platform would be placed for Agatha. But who knows, are they gonna mix up what characters they get this year? Because I know that they're not gonna do another season of Agatha, which is a bum out, because to me that's maybe the best Disney Plus Marvel series I've ever seen. Love that song in that show. It's going to be very interesting to see what exactly is different here. Like, will we notice anything that's different in this space? And does this space always stay isolated from the up and coming two attractions that Avengers Campus is getting? And if you're counting, right now DCA is at the very beginning of 4 new attractions showing up at the resort. 2 e-ticket a Coco themed boat ride, as well as a weird Kuka arm training mission type attraction. We're not sure if it's a Kuka arm, I've just heard people say that. From this side, we really can't see much other than just the big opening. Seems that the vantage point is definitely over on the Radiator Springs side of this passageway. Thank you. Thanks, Groot. All right. I know it's a construction update and not a vibe check, but Groot is such a cool in-park character. The eyes that he has are just like piercing. Like they look so innocent, like dog eyes, you know, like a completely innocent creature. And the cast member was like, if you wait, you'll be able to get a clear photo of him. And so I actually waited for a while and I watched families interact with Groot. And it was just so amazing to see him with like little kids that were completely perplexed and spent a lot of time with a kid who I would assume is on the spectrum and had a little bit of a hard time kind of wrapping his mind around who Groot was until I watched Groot become his absolute best friend and they had to separate him. It's just, the characters just add so much magic. And it's a little bit of a shame that Avengers Campus doesn't have the amount of characters that it once did, but man, when they show up, they are absolutely the difference maker. All right, back to our lap. Sorry, I love this place. If I see good vibes, I'm always gonna chase them. I'm required. Almost done with our lap around DCA, but I do have to point out, and I'll keep pointing it out, how much this sucks. Come on, let's do a real marquee and not a banner over the top of the marquee. I will keep checking on this weekly until it is corrected. Never too proud to admit when I get one wrong. I missed this little detail last week and only realized what had happened after it was pointed out to me by my friends over at WDWNT. There was a three-dimensional sign here, a neon style sign that has been replaced by a fake wood flat mock-up. Now I'm hoping that the original sign is just in the shop and this is a very detailed replacement and not a permanent solution. The reason it was so easy for me to miss it is I always fixate on this candy sign, one of the absolute best signs in the park. So when I see it, I'm like a moth to a flame. So I never even noticed that the other sign had been replaced with a knockoff. Like I said, let's hope that this is just temporary while work's being done to the real one. Let's move over to Disneyland. It is a little bit before 11 a.m. and it is absolutely slammed out front of Disneyland. I don't think the new system is such a good system. Let me explain the problem as I see it. This new system is putting way too much responsibility on the consumer. The consumer doesn't know the system and they shouldn't be responsible to know the system. That's why they are the consumer. Disneyland is always going to have thousands of people that are showing up for the first time ever or the first time in years. Expecting that those people are going to know how this new system works is just insane. And there are cast members at every gate. But the problem is this. Many of the cast members act like their feet are planted in concrete and they refuse to leave their end of the turnstile, barking orders at confused guests from 4 feet away while every other queue around them has kids melting down, people being loud, people not paying attention. Like, the woman in front of me had to take her baby, wake it up out of the stroller, hold it up to the camera so the camera could take a photo of the baby. The cast member couldn't walk over there and take a quick snapshot of the kid. The poor woman, don't think English was her first language, was having an incredibly hard time. All out, 17 minutes to get to the front gate. Now, me personally, I breezed in. I was inside in 10 seconds. I'm wearing a magic band and I come here all the time. But the lady in front of me was not having a magical time, and it is not her fault. This system needs to be rethought out to where cast members are able to help guests, not bark orders at them from 4 feet away. And I guess the thing that really upsets me about the gate is I know there's a better system because it's Disneyland's system. If you've ever been to Magic Kingdom, you can breeze inside of that park regardless of how busy it is in under 5 minutes. They can do better because they've already done better. All right, I'm done with it. The distance behind me, there's a child melting down. Not uncommon at Disneyland, but this child is my spirit animal because his meltdown is because he wants to ride the Disneyland train and his family said, no, keep fighting, little one, keep fighting. The vibes are strong in you. Follow up on last week's cover story, and as predicted, water back in the lagoon, light rigs are absent. The quiet magic nighttime show is over. R.I.P. magical friend, R.I.P. So sad. So sad to see this be one of the things that they chose to remove. What could it have cost? I'd love to know the why. Why did it have to go away? Yo, you're a whole other story. Yes, I'm excited that the water's back. And yes, I love all the storytelling details. But I just remember a version of Disneyland that was better and it wasn't too far away. Okay, can't complain about what's gone, but you can see why they spent all the time airbrushing the bottom of this lagoon. As explained last week, you can now see with water in it how it takes regular chlorine water and gives it way more of a magical teal beach-like appearance. So, a little bit of storytelling. And the pathway to Pixie Hollow still shut down, but I believe it should be back rather soon. I don't know if you can see it at home, but through the mesh with my own eyes, I can see that there's still supplies back there. So there is definitely stuff that's happening. And you can see how the entire area is scrimmed off, giving them the entire work area to bring this back. I do love this little meet and greet. One of the absolute best in the park. Doesn't totally apply to me, but just love seeing it open. And I've witnessed before when my niece was little, the magic that the spot creates. And I wish that for many other proud uncles. Not tackling the Matterhorn this week. Look for a future video over on the main channel, Hey Brickey, breaking down some of the rumors and the legacy that has been circulating the Matterhorn the last couple of years, where it literally feels like it's struggling to stay alive. We'll tackle that in its own standalone video.
As he is at the monorail, please watch your step. Watch your head. It is well cleared. Monorail ready.
While we're pointing out water features that are gone, you may remember that fountains showed up right here, flanking each side of the Disneyland drawbridge for the 100th anniversary of Disney as a corporation. But for the 70th of Disneyland, both of those fountains have been removed. I would have swore that that would be the type of thing that would stay forever, a subtle detail commemorating that anniversary that stayed around well past the 100-year celebration. But where there once was a fountain, we now have a duck butt. I mean, not the worst downgrade. Looks like another summer where this one didn't quite pan out the way they intended. No splash pad. And from what I hear, it's because to do this in public, you also have to provide a shower. So the splash pad stays dry due to bureaucracy and that sweet, sweet red tape. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. No budget to set the mailbox up a little bit higher. Look how beautiful this is. All bloomed. Maybe slightly overgrown. A little bit hard to see the storybook land in there. But those magenta flowers are really popping out. This attraction is scheduled to go down soon for some annual maintenance. One of my favorites, and I want to just say boo to the mom that I heard when her daughter said, I want to ride that. And mom's reply was, no, you don't. It's just a boat ride. Mom, it's so much more than just a boat ride. It's a portal into fantasy. And the sun has decided to show up, as it often does in the month of June, right before noon. Absolutely beautiful rock work. I love that keyhole and that land bridge straight across from us. Such a nice subtle detail that just makes it feel like it goes on and on and on. Oh, Blue Milk Line, how much longer will you be able to stave the test of time? I do want to give you a program update or note that if you watch the fireworks here, you just get really basic projections. But there is now music that's been added. However, if you wait till after the fireworks, it was 10:15 the night we were here, you get these storytelling projections that take over the spires, which are absolutely fantastic. So if you come in this area, make sure to ask a cast member what time the nightly projections are. I highly recommend watching it. It's by far the best projection show I've ever seen Disneyland or Disney do. It used to be my favorite, what they do on the Tree of Life in Animal Kingdom, but this has definitely taken first place. And it's great because it allows guests the opportunity to see a completely different nighttime show if you miss fireworks or Fantasmic, or just don't care for getting in the super dense crowds. Low attendance, high magic. It's a win, it's a win, it's a win. Another little Star Wars pivot. They have taken the side entryway to Sack's Kettle, and they have now introduced a little seating area, 3 or 4 little tables, because they realize there is not a lot of wait time for Star Wars popcorn. Interested to see this stand and the Blue Milk stand definitely struggle to find a fan base and an identity. My suggestion, start selling the cold brew coffee with the cocoa pebbles, space rocks on top, and you'll instantly get a bigger audience at one of these 2 locations. Because as it currently stands, you can't get cold brew coffee in this land until Docking Bay 7 opens up, which on most days is 11 a.m. If one of those 2 were selling coffee, it'd absolutely crush it. Out in Orlando, they sell coffee at Ronto Roasters. That would be another successful way to do it. But there's just not a crowd for the milk stand or the popcorn stand. So it seems like one of those could definitely become more coffee adjacent. Get coffee in here earlier and disperse the audience, because the amount of people that go into Docking Bay 7 just to get coffee and congest everything around it is definitely a problem that all the cast members there unfortunately have to deal with. Ray, is the beret business a little slow right now? Don't have the money to turn those fountains on? This rooftop is looking like a serious fire danger. Look how dry that looks. Remember when it used to be real lush and grassy green? Yeah, me too. Speaking of another area that needs to be watered, look beyond the Haunted Mansion. If you can look around Madame Leota's Bed Bath & Beyond, you can see that the berm also is extremely dry. I'm curious why Disneyland has these 2 really, really dry brush areas inside of the park and why these haven't been better maintained. It's interesting. I don't recall ever seeing these 2 areas look this way before. Still construction walls up at the patio of the Tiki Room as they work on the outdoor stage elements. Be excited to see how they bring back props that have been around since the 60s but had to get adapted to modern audiences' behavior. but this project does take away one of my absolute favorite patios. Sitting here, watching provides such a nice tucked away look at one of the busiest original lands at Disneyland. And the only way to politely film this would be at rope drop, which I still haven't had a chance to rope drop over here. But there is new artwork outside of the restroom walls that took forever for them to edit, but at least the new edit did come with some art and not just some generic walls. I'm always ready to wait if there's a payoff. Shooting across the hub, we can see that it is beginning to become a very busy spring day. Thank you so much to the person that pointed out to me that it's not summer, although I'm going to ignore your advice because to me summer is always Memorial Day to Labor Day. And then fall is to like Christmas, and then it becomes winter. I just go by the holidays. It's just easier. I literally just saw a bird fly right into that birdhouse, which I never noticed until today. Thank you, little bird, for showing me something new. There you go, my friends. A little vibe bonus at the end there as the Disneyland Band and the Fab Five come marching down Main Street to do their thing. I hope you enjoyed this Sunday morning construction update. Doing a complete lap around both parks, finding whatever new construction projects we can, and also breaking down park operations, which sometimes impacts us way more than the construction does. If you had fun, make sure to subscribe and make sure to check me out on my main channel, Hey Brickey. I appreciate you showing up and I appreciate you spending your Sunday with me. Have a good week.